But anyways, Jericho, he still kind of annoys me. But I
Mhm.
have to say this: fucking love this sports entertainer gimmick. His whole pop culture references and trying to be cool and shit. It works better as a heel because I can hate him and I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate that shit. He drops some pop culture shit in this promo is annoying, but otherwise, I really love that he's just being an asshole. Yeah.
I like it too. And what I think is interesting about it, like being the producer of the show, I spend a lot of time looking at wrestling social media and seeing the reactions to it. And there seems to be a large consortium of folks on the internet who are taking this as direct jabs at WWE, which it is to some degree, but they're
Yeah.
liking it to the Monday Night Wars, right? And kind of reinstilling this tribalism in wrestling where, you can't like the other guy, you can only like this one thing. And they bring up an interesting point about the gimmick. And don't get me wrong, I love the gimmick. I think it's hilarious. I'm on the same page as you are with it. But one of the conversations going on that I'm curious about, I'm curious your take on, is they're talking about how, if we're doing this tribalism thing where we're obviously making fun of WWE, and they're shooting back now too a little bit, with some of the things that, particularly on Raw, is being said, and sometimes SmackDown. Um, what could that do to help or hinder AEW grow, right? Because for a long time it's only been WWE, and presumably we have to, as AEW, from a promoter standpoint, get some crossover there. But if we're taking shots at things that people are really adamant about and loyal to and love, what is that going to do for potential growth, right? If we're really already starting this divide between the two by starting what the internet seems to think is a war.
Yeah, I mean, the war has been talked about for 3 years now, and it's just kind of evolved.
Mhm.
We've talked about the fucking chodes that are in the wrestling community on Twitter and shit.
Yeah,
Jesus fuck.
there's some opinions,
Um,
that's for sure.
but I have to say this though, when it comes to that, I do think it's gonna help, especially like imagine when Cody Rhodes, for example, goes on Broken Skull sessions if Steve Austin's still doing that, and
Yes.
he talks about AEW, right? Or when Jericho was on there, he talked about AEW. And you're gonna get these moments, especially when they have a streaming service and it's something that people can just watch.
Yeah.
I think these things are gonna be huge, and I don't really know if there's a war because it's kind of natural. See, what's funny is WCW and WWF. If you watch them now, you can see a clear difference. Actually, like they are different. And it was like, do you like this or do you like that? And it was like kind of the same fan base. It's just a lot of people split, and then there was a majority of people in the middle that kind of watch both.
Yeah.
In this case, the
Which was
AEW
me. I watched
fans.
both.
Well, yeah, and I did for a long time. Then later, I was a WCW guy, but the thing with this is like all like million plus of the AEW fans that watch, excuse me, that watch weekly. Those are like the diehard hardcore fans that if someone we'll talk about DDT sometime, that promotion or
I feel like we have to,
you
given
know,
the recent
yeah,
signing.
like pro wrestling, like the Noah brand, all of those are owned by the same company. I don't know why I can't think of the fucking other one right now. I've just like brain farted, but there are a few of them though. There are a few more. But it's like if someone or like let me do Minoru Suzuki when he came on. Like the crowd fucking knew him.
Oh, yeah.
You put that fucker on WWE, no,
Nobody has a clue.
it's fucking crickets, man.
I think it's just
You know
some
what I'm saying?
jobber. Yeah.
Yeah, just some like old guy or something. So my point is, like, I think the AEW fans, I bet a lot of them don't even like WWE anymore, anyways, because it's like most of the diehard wrestling fans I know, like that are true diehards that are really like consuming it, like you and I are at this point. I feel like most people don't like WWE. It doesn't mean you can't. Like, for example, I buy PlayStations every generation, right? Because I like the PlayStation controller and I've always bought PlayStations. I'm not against Xbox.
Right.
Yes, I'm going to buy a PS5. I don't give a fuck. But the point is, like, if I had an Xbox to play because there was an exclusive, I would totally play it. Like, I'm not against it. And that's how I am with WWE. I want that to be clear for any listeners and viewers, too. I want them to be awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't think they are right now.
Right now it's
like,
tough. And I agree with you. 100. I'm in exactly the same boat. like I said, I think I watch it a little bit more than you do, like kind of passively, like it's kind of around and I watch it. But there's still moments like this past SmackDown. There's a few moments I was like, "This is fucking cool," but they're so
Yeah,
far and few these days. You know, it's
yeah,
kind of sad. It's kind of sad because then
yeah.
it's juxtaposed to like makeout sessions in the middle ring segments. It's really weird.
Yeah,
But hopefully
they're
they find their
fucking dumb.
direction because I would love to have more wrestling to watch. Like, I mean, I AW obviously I watch all the time. WWE is on. I've been watching Insane Championship Wrestling, which is actually really fucking cool. It's the Scottish wrestling promotion that's on Peacock.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like give me more, give me more, and I hope the two big players are there because the big top guys, the better they are, the more people it brings in to spread the love around to other things. It's better for
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, we're about to get a lot of wrestling because if Tony Khan gets this HBO Max thing
Oh
and
my god.
if he puts ROH on there and he gets the library to DDT and Noah and all that shit, dude, you're gonna get old fucking Kenny Omega matches and all kinds of shit. It's awesome.